both look like it stopped. And what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rudynomics podcast. Yeah. And today's guest is Shiva Ary.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good. I'm good.
Good.
Much rather look at the camera or you? I'm gonna look at you.
Come on, looking at the camera's kind of weird.
While talking to you? Why? Why is that weird?
I don't know. Anyway, you sidetracked me already. This episode is brought to you by Hempy's Emporium in Arlington. Like always, get all your hemp-related stuff at Hempy's. I'm bad at doing a read.
Nice. I didn't know you sponsored. This is updated. I like this now. A lot better than before. Last time I was in a bedroom.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, you haven't. Yeah, it's been a while since you've been here, man. I changed it all up and the space looks a little better. I feel like it's more professional in a way.
Oh, 100%. It's not on a bed.
It's not.
Yeah. I mean, just that. Just saying.
Oh man. Yeah. Oh, those things were crazy.
It was. I still enjoyed it.
No, they were super fun, but it was just so weird in the bedroom, man. Now I think about it, but like Addie said, you know, it's either do it now or you're never gonna do it. And I was like,
100%. I mean, I'm thinking about trying to do it myself. Also, there's just equipment that I don't really have and stuff, and you know, I mean, what are we recording on? Just the Snow?
That's the mic, yeah. That's the voice mic.
Just on, and it gets both of us. Or is it like bi-directional?
Yeah, okay. It catches all around.
Oh, it's on.
Which it does a good job. It does a good job, but I still eventually will want individual mics per person.
Sure, yeah.
That's
but it's still a good workaround. It comes out good though.
It comes out good.
Because see, that helps me out if I want to start that I could just use one mic. That would be nice. And of course, yeah, it would be great if you know. If there's 3 people, everyone has their own mic or whatever. But
that would be ideal. But right now, I'm making make do. Make do, is that the term?
Yes.
I make doing.
So I'm just trying to tag in this stuff.
It's okay. Oh man, Shiva, man, dude, it's been a long ride since I first started meeting you.
When I mean, last time I did the podcast was probably a year and a half ago, maybe 2. Yeah. Well, probably a year and a half to 2.
Yeah, I think I've only been doing comedy like 4 months after that. Before that.
When I had first done the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I hadn't been doing comedy for that long.
Huh. And you just started with a podcast out the gate then. Because you had been doing a podcast for a while then too, right? Yeah. Not like hardcore, but you know, like.
No, you were like my first 10 guests.
Okay.
Before that, I'd never done any.
Well,
podcast.
Maybe makes sense.
Yeah, I had only been in comedy for like 4 months.
Yeah, and now it's been now you've been in comedy about 2 years.
Yeah. So
what have you learned?
I've learned it's fucking a lot of studying your like studying my way of thinking towards what's funny. It's weird.
Huh. I was gonna say in the first 2 years, I probably learned that the business side of it is super not fun or funny at all. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a lot of weird business compared to just to get the stage time, just to enjoy it. You know, but it's one of a kind, man. I really love it. I mean, it's given me a lot, to be honest. So I can't really hate too much. Too much on it, but there are plenty of times that I'm just not wanting to be a part of doing this, and I'm pretty low level, so, but yeah.
Like, so you're saying the business is what kind of ruins the fun of it for you?
Sure, yeah.
Even now, or back
at times? No, back then a little more. I mean, I've been getting booked more, so I've just been focusing on that. When you're busy enough, you don't have time to think about other people's crap, where then that helps. But if you get enough time, you start thinking, and of course, it's pretty easy to be like, why is this person getting it and not me? And there's several reasons, for that. It's not just that one that you're thinking, which is usually, sucking up or something, or they don't know what funny is, or, and it's probably like everything on that. And you know what I'm saying? It's like you just because you're talented, you still have to be able to be dealt with off stage. You know, like so if you're a complete dick off stage, like I'm super cautious about what I do off stage while I'm, you know, even to like which is kind of weird because you know I'm not supposed to like give a fuck in a thing, but then again I'm just a host, so it's like, if anything, I'm supposed to give the most fucks, I think, weirdly. So it's a weird job, kind of having to host and still try to be a comic, because you got to play that line, you know.
Well, okay, but that's in I don't want to mention the business, but that's in one certain business, right? Mm-hmm. What if you like didn't have that on your shoulders? Like, what if you branched off and started doing things out more not so corporate, if you know what I mean?
I don't even do that corporate. I'm just doing the clubs and then little stuff outside of that, and even that has
but I'm
not corporate.
I'm referring the clubs to like a corporation, though.
Sure,
So
and I mean
when I say not so
but
corporate,
but there is an actual corporate also comedy thing, which is even crazier in a sense, or it's actually not crazy. It's probably like a little more professional in certain ways. You know, you get more money. But then you have to really then they censor your comedy and you have to do what they think is funny. The clubs let you do whatever. The clubs, I think, are actually trying to help the art form in a sense. I mean, granted, they want to bring a crowd in. They are a business, so it's like, you know, they might not be able to take the chance on someone maybe a little more risky if they destroy one crowd but then bomb for 5 after that, or, you know, maybe 2 after that. That's not a good return on your investment, and especially not as a host. Like, you need somebody that just, you know, it's a weird, you know, I'm waiting to feature more. I'm starting to feature a little bit here and there, not at the clubs right now, but, you know, hopefully soon. And then that's a totally different ballgame. And then, you know, you can actually sell merch and make some money. And, you know,
you can't sell merch as a host?
You shouldn't, really. I mean, some hosts might let you, especially if the host and the feature aren't selling, maybe. You know, but it's them doing you a favor. That's not expected at all. And,
oh, okay. So it's kind of like, don't try to make money because you weren't like the main reason why the people came to see.
No, as a host, man, you're more of an employee of the club than, let's say, the feature or the headliner. The headliner, I think, would be the next closest an employee, and then the feature's kind of just like just move the ship along. How you do that is whatever. You know, features, a lot of people say features like the easiest spot because you don't have to start the crowd, and, you know, even if the host sucks or whatever, you can just kind of
feel the room after that.
Yeah, you know what, definitely to avoid or whatever.
Yeah.
And the headliner, you know, has to bring it down. But as a host, you're definitely, like, way more associated with the club. So
I feel like the host would be the hardest spot.
I mean, they used to make a headliner host. They used to make it where there was a headliner hosting and then the headliner ending it was, you know, which is sometimes a better thing, man, because, you know, you have a really, really, really bad host. And, you know, I was one at the very beginning where I was shaky at first, where I would not ruin the energy of the room, but people could be like, this guy's, you know, like, just getting up here, isn't he? Like, you know, because, I mean, they don't realize that it takes, like, probably 2 years just to get up on stage, and you look like that, and that's, you know, you should see someone that just got on stage, in a sense. I mean, some people are lucky, but, you know.
How long have you been hosting right now?
2 years, maybe 3, coming up on 3. So I started hosting, no, it has to be 2 years. So I've been doing comedy since 2015. And then it was about 2 years in, I got my, like, guest spots and stuff, and then I was working for the club.
Host is the same thing as MC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there might be some differences, but
do you always want to stay here in DFW?
I was about to move 2 years in, and then I ended up getting a job at one of the clubs here, and then that kept me here. And then when I left that place, they started booking me, so then I stayed here longer. And now I'm just, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's as necessary to move to New York or LA to ride whatever.
I mean, I don't think that you have to.
Not as before, at least.
But
before it was.
I feel like if you didn't have to do it, then how come
everyone else did it?
How come some of the better comics we all know and have seen are doing it?
Because they think that is what you have to do. I mean, it is definitely. I mean, imagine being in like the maybe late or early 2000s where you're like, dude, I have to get a Tonight Show gig. That is the only way to make it. That's how every comic made it before.
Yeah.
And then some comics weren't that interested, and they were like focusing on trying to get a Netflix special instead. And then they got the Netflix special, and you got that, but the Netflix special was better. So it's like.
But you never think you'll
miss out on something?
No, you never think you'll move over there?
I think so. I think I'll be there once I'm established in the South, like Texas and maybe not like anywhere around Texas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not Mexico, because I don't know if I can do Spanish, but that'd be great if I could.
I took some advice from what's his face? God damn.
Yeah. What you look like?
Oh man, short dude from Waco. God damn.
Waco.
He was on my podcast.
Or Jorge from El Paso.
No. God damn it, I can't. This is so stupid of me.
Dan Danzy. I don't think he's from Waco.
No.
McBride.
Nick Guerra.
Oh,
Nick Guerra.
Yeah. I mean, he's in L.A.
Yeah,
he's originally from Waco.
No, he's originally from somewhere.
I mean, he started here.
Yeah, he started here. But he was telling me, because I had told him when would a person when would be a good time for a person to move to LA or something like that to grow in the business. He's like, well, for sure before you move over there, just make sure you're an MC or have been doing an MC. And you've been doing that for 2 years, so I would think that'd be pretty high credentials if you moved over there.
No, there would be no credentials. The only thing I think Nick is kind of saying is, like, you at least know you have a 10-15 minute act that works, that you can take there. Mm-hmm. Compared to having, like, a 10-15 minute maybe open mic act. Granted, I don't know how you get that much time for the most part, and with a good audience, and then trying to take it over there and see if it works. But, like, Nick, it would make 100% sense for Nick to move to LA when he was, because he was... like early, I mean, I think he probably left like 2011, 12, or maybe even earlier. It's like definitely at that time, yeah. But it's like 2019 right now. Like I don't feel as bad staying here. Mm-hmm. That's pretty much what I'm saying. And a lot of people think that's more being scared, but I think I'm being strategic about it. Get better spots here and like try to get Austin down. Try to get San Antonio, Houston. That's really what I'm trying to break into. And then, of course, Oklahoma, and, I do the Looney Bin, so that's got that covered, I think, for the most part. I mean, I got to go a little further, and, I'm kind of strapped down here because, I've talked about medication that I have to deal with and stuff, and that's right.
I don't know if you want to talk about that. But
no, I don't care. I just don't feel the need. We'll get to that later, or, maybe something like that. But yeah, I just feel fine trying to make it here and like being cool with the headliners enough that if they did see me in LA, they'd be like, oh yeah, of course, compared to me just going to LA and being like, I promise I have a good set. There's too many people that fake that. And I don't even think that they don't think that. Like, I do believe they think that.
Yeah.
But then it's about, delivering. I've fortunately been able to deliver when asked to.
Yeah. I definitely want to visit places like that for like at least
LA
a week.
or 100%. Yeah. But then also I think, maybe those really good comics should have gone to maybe second tier and I think Dallas is becoming kind of that. But and that's also why I kind of want to stay here and go with the growth kind of deal. But maybe like going to Chicago, or I hear Colorado or Denver's a really, good spot kind of deal. Granted, Denver's got to be super expensive. So, but maybe somewhere there before jumping off to New York. You know, I'd rather really just accomplish. Like if I can't sell in a market that's smaller than this, what makes me think that I could go then sell it to LA, New York? I'm gonna definitely need someone to discover me, and then it's 100% me relying on other people, which I know I have to, but at the same time, it's I'm not feeling bad yet. Talk to me in 2 more years, and if I'm still here, so I'm assuming 2 years, maybe I still will be here, but I might be taking a trip, like 2 trips to LA, 2 trips to New York every year.
Yeah.
Which if I'm doing that, goal for Shiva, whatever, try to do that.
That's badass. But yeah, I mean.
And you know what?
What?
Strategically, don't even get me wrong. Like, my cousin just moved to New York, and I have 2 sisters that live in LA doing their own thing. So I'm letting them grow enough that they have a house, and then I got a place to crash. And I can just stay there indefinitely.
Like you're just like, wow, I'm just gonna wait till somebody I know that lives there. They're not going there.
Yeah. And then I can, play them off each other. Be like, no, I'm gonna stay at this comics house, and not tell what comics. No, I'm gonna stay at their house.
Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do, because I have a friend that lives in Miami who I've been meaning to go see.
But living with another comic is gonna suck. That's why I like having a relative being there, kind of deal, where it's like. I will stay at a comics house, like, Daniel's out there, or whatever, or Jamie's up in New York, and Dalton,
yeah, well, I have a friend in Miami who's not a comic, but he's been telling me to go stay over there for like a week, and then I have a friend who's going to be moving to Hawaii, and she said I can go visit her in Hawaii.
Nice. I hear there's not a comedy scene there, though. I mean, there is one.
I'll check it out, but it'd be a nice little...
Yeah, but they have, like, a very, like, just... Because imagine that. Like, you can't go anywhere but Hawaii. Like, the comics there kind of... I don't know.
Yeah, I know they listen to comedy.
Yes.
Joe
No,
did
of course. No, and they'll do specials there.
Yeah.
But then that's, it's not in Austin where there's a...
Imagine if I get over there, I'm on the wrong island.
Start your own open mic, I guess.
Oh, man.
Bring it to the natives. You were over at the comedy show this weekend, and someone thought you were me.
Yeah, someone did think that.
They said you did really well.
Yeah, and I was like, what? No, he came up to me and started talking about some joke, and I was just like, that's a weird thing to just come up to me and start talking to me about. Like, I could tell that it was something a
familiarity.
Yeah. And then, and then after he said that, he's like, "You're really funny," and what's his name? Who else was there? Oh, fucking. God damn it!
You're blanking.
I am. What's his name? Fucking.
Who?
The feature, Tony. Tony tapped the guy and
Casillas,
like, yeah, Tony Casillas tapped the guy and was like, hey, that wasn't him. That's not you. I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Because I didn't even know you were there.
You didn't know it was opening for Bobcat?
No, I didn't know who was opening. I didn't know who was
You were just showing up.
I was just showing up because I wanted to see Bobcat.
Yeah, that was, I loved his set too.
Dude, he was so patient with that people in the front. He was
okay,
so
the second show. Yes, yeah.
I can't believe how nice he was.
Dude, that happened yesterday too for the other show, for Sean Kent's show. So that was.
How did he take it?
I mean, eventually they had to leave. Like they were just talking crazy at a certain point. Just not crazy, but just loud. And, there's one guy that. Wait. That was the rich dude, right? At our show. Mm-hmm. Yes, that was ridiculous. He was talking, and I told him he was gonna be talking about it, and he started laughing.
Yeah, you said that.
I'm not sure if
you
someone
said that on stage.
That. Yeah,
you're gonna be talking a lot.
Yes, I was like, you were because I mean, I thought you heard his laugh, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sure if that was real or fake, or I think it was, and then he just kept talking to his girl. And then I thought he was going to leave and have some, dignity, but then he flicked off Bobcat and we were gonna boot them, and I was like, I couldn't even. I mean, it's an embarrassing thing to have that kind of like even though you're not gonna see any of those people in like 20 seconds once you're out the door. Mm-hmm. So it's a really weird thing to have just people boo you or whatever. And I've had that even personally myself, where it's like, I probably don't take it as bad as other people, but I don't even take the good stuff as good as other people either. So no, I feel a little kind of desensitized just to the reaction. I mean, I feel like you kind of need to deal with the bombs, and then to do that, it takes away, I think, from the it's a double-edged sword.
Really, I thought it would make it better though. Like
if you can kind of like grit yourself that you can deal with bombing. And it's not like I bomb a lot, but that you can go up there and start talk to a silent crowd. I think that then does hurt your ability to when you're doing well.
But when you say bombing, are you talking about like bombing in front of like a crowd like that, or not an open mic, right?
I don't think I have bombed in a crowd that big, or like a paid show like that. I mean, I've definitely gotten close where like there were some silences during that set.
So if you never bombed with a crowd like that big, then shouldn't that make you feel good because of how often you do it and how often you succeed? Yeah. The ratio is way higher than you bombing. Way higher.
Yes. So but I have not bombed at that size of a crowd, but I have bombed at smaller crowds, and actually maybe I've technically bombed at a club, but it's usually like for a free show, and that's usually because it's small, and something about a free show makes people less likely to laugh for some reason, because I don't think they have no skin in the game with money or whatever. But bombing even with a smaller crowd or whatever hurts enough that I don't even want to imagine what it's like bombing for a huge crowd like that, where I had to toughen up when it was just for a small crowd. So getting a huge like that small crowd reaction grit, I can then enjoy a big crowd liking me. But I definitely don't think I'm as open to it, because I have to be a little guarded in case I lose them. And I know it's a little bit of a parlor trick I'm doing. I'm telling the same jokes over and over again, like it's not as authentic as I might make it seem, or comics make it seem. I mean, I try to be. I try to stay present, and if I can find somewhere else to take the joke in the moment, I will. But I'm saying the same stuff, Like, part of my joke, I literally say, I hate my life in it as part of it, because I make a stupid pun.
Yeah.
And it gets the same reaction every time. People are like, he's self-aware. It's like, yeah, of course I've been saying this, like, I'm self-aware that I'm self-aware.
Oh, man. You're really deep in emotionally involved with that aspect.
You see emotion in it? I feel like I'm deep, but I don't have a lot. A lot of people say I'm very...
No, I see emotion in that.
Yeah.
You know what the emotion is? It's a fear of slight fear of...
Sure, I mean, I'm scared to die.
Failure,
even though I push myself towards it a lot. Or failure. Yeah, failure's kind of like death. I mean, that might be a little bit of like the Indian.
Well, like if let's just say like the scenario where right now we're just talking about how you've never bombed in a crowd that big.
No,
and
definitely
you're
have not.
So worried so worried to ever bomb like that. How are you gonna handle it if you ever do?
I will. I'll bomb like I've handled. Most. I mean, when I was first starting out, I wish I had kind of bombed for a big enough crowd. I mean, but then I've seen one bad show get comics to quit where, I don't know. They've always kind of held me back. Like, I've always wanted to think I should have been further ahead than where I'm at. And because they kind of held me back, I've always been more than up to the expectations, or more to the whatever responsibilities.
Yeah.
That I do better. And even that, still, I didn't even do that well when I first started out as host. But probably did a lot better than the person they kind of thrusted onto there sooner kind of deal.
I like that CBD.
Yeah, it's good.
Good.
That's the BDC.
CBD. CBD because
I just thought it was
legal in Texas.
Just saw something to smoke.
I think the biggest crowd I've ever bombed at was in a Butch Lord showcase.
That is a big crowd. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I did my Michael Jackson bit, and the first time I did it, I was on shrooms.
Okay.
And when I did it, it was like, dude, I was just fucking just so natural, man. When I did that bit.
The first time.
And then the second time I did it was in. The first time I did it was in.
Did you ever record it?
Dallas, yeah.
So I was gonna say, could you not listen to it and maybe get that flow again, or it's just hard to be in that moment?
I think I can get that flow again. I'm pretty sure. I added in here and there. I just don't go so deep into it.
Gotta running. I'll try to fix it. Yeah.
But I haven't bombed that much with that bit when I tried to use it.
So but I guess you learned your whatever. Okay. Huh.
I learned a better way of delivering.
Well, that's good to bomb it. Something like that. Get that.
Yeah.
I mean, a Butch showcase would probably be a little better of the place because there's that was probably a heavy comic lineup, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I got too personal with the bit. I guess, from what I was told, I made it feel awkward.
But it feels bad, right? It's not like. Is it worse than, or is there a cap at where it's like I can't tell the difference between bombing and 50 people to 200 in a sense? Like it feels just as bad as if it's, or is it like exponential, or is it,
No, actually.
I mean, I can imagine. I feel
I just don't feel bad about it.
Yeah, and maybe I have bombed. Maybe I just, like another comic's opinion, and I'm just in denial about.
I don't know. For me, it's like it sucked.
Wait, what? Yeah, what was this bomb? I do want to know. Like nobody was laughing. Like
it was just kind of awkward. A few people were laughing. I wish I had the video on hand so I could just play it.
Do you have the video?
Yeah,
you have a video of it? Nice. That's nice. Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this thing where like, where I break out. I talk to a comic about a set. And for the podcast, I sit down with the comic and we go over a set that they want to talk about, and then I can go over a set that I want to talk about, and see if
I would do like my best set.
Dude,
that I did really want just to have some kind of
I don't know
juxtaposition to your bombing.
Your best set. I wouldn't have any kind of advice to give you on your best set, dude.
You can add tags or
no, man. There's no
slow
way.
Down.
Yeah, but your best set is like
there's laughter.
Like way better than my best set. Let's just say that.
I mean, it's different. I mean, we can have different because some people are like high energy and stuff, and it's like my set's never gonna be like that. Where I'm like able to get them kind of, I can get them kind of going up there, but I take my time a lot of times, And sometimes I've liked taking my time because you actually get more laughter sometimes out of the joke if you just let them, if you give them the time to breathe.
Oh, there's so many on here. I don't even know which one it is.
No, it's fine, dude. It's fine.
13,
I would love to see that later though. But that's crazy that it's recorded just so you can remember that moment always.
Yeah.
Like that. To be honest, is as much as that probably sucked. That's such, I think, a valuable tool to have.
You know what? Do you mind? Let's go over one of my sets and see what you think of it.
I mean, okay.
You don't want to.
I mean, I wanted to see that one set. I don't really want to see
any general one.
I mean, we'll do it. We'll do it all. I don't want to do it on camera.
You don't want to give me harsh criticism.
I'm just gonna be like,
I'll figure out which one it was, and then I'll watch that one specifically. See how bad that bomb was, because that one actually is interesting.
It is.
It's
a valuable
tool. I want to see how you bomb really bad.
And then if you whenever you kind of get ahead on yourself, you can look at that and Because, I mean, humbleness works really well on stage. If you can, I mean, you can't just say it or and it's got to be subtle, but like it's a really connecting thing. And then, you know, I think once you connect to an audience, you can say whatever at that point. Because I can usually tell I'm doing good. In the middle of my set, I'll say this one part where I'll call the audience dumb. Yeah. Just be like, you're dumb. And if they and how they laugh or you know how big, I can really tell how connected.
Is that your like
little litmus or whatever? Yeah.
Water tester.
Yeah, what's it called? Litmus test.
I think so.
I'm not saying it right. Litmus test.
There you go. Sure. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it.
You can say whatever. And you're like, okay, fair enough.
Oh man, what? Damn, dude, that CBD really got me flowing. I partied a little too hard last night.
Ditto. I wanted to start this a little later.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I took a hit of acid.
Oh yeah? That's cool.
And I watched the UFC fights.
Dude, I saw the little highlight over there. I can't believe it was only 40 seconds.
Yeah, that was so insane.
Yeah.
But then I'm sitting right here in that desk chair watching the TV, and you know, with all the lights and everything, I'm just like, ooh, I'm still tripping.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And then I made some CBD butter, if you know what I mean.
No, nobody does that. But yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, and I probably slept like 2 hours.
Just a little worse than me. I'll give you that. You win on that. I was last night back at the club. I was with Joey Johnson, Sean Kent.
Oh yeah, Joey's up there.
Yeah, he was featuring, and Tony featured on Friday, and then Thursday was a.
Are you doing anything tonight?
Show what? No.
There's no clubs.
I mean, some people do.
There's a few clubs on Sunday.
Yeah, well, sometimes. I mean, some headliners will extend it to Sunday.
Yeah.
Like the matinee show. Or I don't think the matinee show. I think that's at noon or whatever. But yeah, they'll sometimes do it. My next show is next week. I'm in Wichita, Looney Bins. So if you have people, do you have people in Kansas, your audience?
I have no fucking idea.
No?
I don't know about Kansas.
You can't see it all. Like
no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, Wichita, Looney Bins. And then I'm back in Dallas doing Helen Hong, opening for Helen Hong. That should be exciting because I like her. Saw her on Silicon Valley.
You still like... Man, I find it like to be where you're at doing that, MCs. Like if I could ever do that, I feel like I'd. To me, it'd be like amazing.
Yeah.
Like do you still find it? Do you still find it semi amazing that you're at where you're at?
I mean, no.
Why not?
I mean, I definitely did. I don't think, especially when I first got it. So I mean, I have to just keep moving to the next step. You know. I don't want to think, it's probably the same thing's going to happen as a headliner. I mean, I definitely feel like all I'm going for, I will take a pause. It definitely won't be like a huge thing because I still have to, keep going. But I'll definitely take a pause. I am a headliner, or maybe not even a headliner because, I might be headlining some clubs and still featuring at others. But when I am able to say that I can live off of this, I think that's when I'll take whatever. I don't know what a pot. That could be a day break. That could literally just be a minute.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that unfathomable to get to.
It's not.
Especially now. And I'm a little fortunate in my demographic of being Indian that there's just not a lot of Indian comics. So I'm a little quick to the.
Is that a good thing or a bad
thing? That's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, and don't get me wrong, because it's weird, because, you know, if anything, I got the because there's enough Indian comics that there's a route now, but there's not enough that you could say, you know, and this includes, like, Asian comics, too, or, you know, even LGBT comics, and I don't always get, I feel like, the pick with some of these headliners. Like, you know, a lot of times a lot of people will make it because of, like, you know, like, a headliner takes them somewhere and stuff. And I've had kind of that a little bit, but nothing too crazy or anything.
Yeah.
And so because I get that a lot, I don't mind getting the diversity pick. Like, I'll take that all the time.
Yeah, why not?
At this point, no, but I'm just saying, like, and I don't even get that much. You know, I don't think people can really, like, I don't think it evens the playing field at all. But, you know, you just take what you can get. Like, everything's so kind of up in the air that I don't think it's either side heavy. So it's just like...
You know, I was I never... Or I'm very bad. I don't do it very well. I don't really throw my background in my comedy that much.
I mean, that's good.
And I was wondering why.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like because I was raised in Iowa...
So why can't you throw that aspect of it in?
But because somehow I don't see myself as like
what are you, Mexican technically?
Yeah, I'm not Mexican, but I don't see myself as a Mexican. For me, like, internally, I'm just like a white boy because that's what I grew up around.
Sure.
So it's weird.
I wouldn't say you're white, but I'd probably consider you kind of like more like me in a sense, where you're just kind of. Because you're not, like, I get what you're saying. So you're not Mexican, and you were kind of around white people a lot.
I grew up around white people.
Yeah, I grew up in Plano, and it was predominantly white people. There's some Indian people, but then they kind of also lived around white people.
Yeah. So
it's like almost then we got together and, like, checked notes on white people or whatever, you know? But, yeah. Like, I can understand what you're saying. But I don't think that's white, you know? Because I mean, there was a couple things that I picked up that I would say were a little black. So I just feel like I'm an open book. And that kind of came because, you know, you're, I guess, first generation? Or
yeah,
maybe,
first generation.
Okay. Dang, so your parents came from Mexico all the way. They decided to just keep
I think I was
to
the first,
Iowa? That's where they stopped?
I think I was the first in my family of 9. I was the first one to be born.
Family of 9?
Yeah, I have 9 siblings. But I was the first one to be born in the U.S.
I didn't know you had 8 brothers. Or whatever.
4 and 4, actually.
Nice. That's a really good... And, oh, well, I guess it's 5 and 4 with you, then. It's 9.
Yeah.
Right? Unless one of you needs to think about changing. I'm sure one's binary. I'm just saying. So that's 4, 1, and 4.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't even know
shouldn't assume your siblings' gender.
No, they're all whatever they are.
Yeah. I have 3 sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So you beat me in big family, but I technically have a big family. 4 gets, 3 big. So.
What are you, the oldest or the
second oldest? Technically middle child. Only boy though.
You have both parents?
Like they didn't divorce.
Like you knew them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never knew my dad.
Okay. Wait, so are they all full siblings?
The 2 under me are half.
Okay.
They have a different dad.
Okay. Interesting.
I do like to joke
but
around
then 7 of them are from the same dad?
Supposedly.
You never met?
Okay.
You're the oldest.
Here, I feel like they're lying to me. I'm not the oldest.
Oh.
Because my oldest brother is 4 years older than me.
Uh-huh.
My youngest brother is 4 years younger than me.
Yeah.
And they try to tell me that my mom hooked up with my older brother's dad, or the other sibling's dad.
That's your dad, too, then.
And had sex with my mom and then had me. And I was like, wait a minute. If that's so, then how come I'm bigger than all of them?
Uh-huh.
I'm crazier than all of them?
Uh-huh.
And I really don't believe that that their dad would come back to my mom 4 years after the last time they had a kid together.
Yeah.
Get her pregnant and then go away again.
Well, wait. Didn't you say the younger one was also?
The younger ones are from a different dad. So I feel like something happened in that 8-year period that nobody wants to talk to me about.
8-year period?
Yeah, because from my youngest brother to my oldest brother is 8 years.
Yeah.
In between. And
why would your younger brother know about it?
No, I'm not saying my younger brother's gonna know.
Huh.
I'm saying, but that time difference, something happened in between.
Dude, yeah, I don't think you're gonna figure that out on, whatever, 2023 and me, or whatever it's called.
You don't think I'll be able to figure that one out?
What's it called?
23andMe.
Okay, yeah. I don't think you're gonna get the answers.
I could, but I don't want to do that 23andMe.
Yeah.
Because I heard that they take your information and they give it to insurance companies.
Oh, really?
And insurance companies know what to charge you more because they have information of what you might have in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what Caitlin Hassenwire told me. You know Caitlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's deep into conspiracies like
she's
that.
She's a conspiracy person?
Oh, yeah. She's so fucking cool, man. I love it. I need to have her back on. I love talking to her about conspiracies.
You guys should be on that tinfoil hat show.
Hey, I heard they're coming to town.
Yeah, Reed Becker is really cool with Sam.
On the 25th?
I'm sure Reed Becker will be on. Maybe. I mean,
I'll just message Reed Becker because I know that I heard what's his face, Eddie Bravo talking about it. They're like, hey, we're gonna be in Dallas. I don't know if Dallas are playing up. He said Hyenas.
I mean, they were just here too. They were just.
Don't tell me I missed them.
I mean, that was like a month or 2 ago, I believe.
Okay, no, this
they
podcast
could be coming back too.
Yeah, this podcast was 4 days ago.
Yeah. But yeah, Eddie Bravo is part of the crew.
Who's the other guy? The other comic?
Sam Tripoli.
Yeah, Sam Tripoli.
Yeah.
I hear he's doing amazing.
I worked with him once. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing.
Is he a good guy? Cool guy? Pretty sure he is.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really have like that much one-on-one time with him or anything, but
yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Reed's a great guy.
Reed Becker?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Reed's awesome, man. He's so funny to me.
Yeah.
I need to have him on the podcast so we can talk about stuff.
Dude, when it gets into this conspiracy shit, it gets a little nuts.
I've talked to him a few times and we've hung out a bunch. And one time we were at this was funny to me. Yeah, he's like, hey man, you want a shot of whiskey? I'm like, sure. Mm-hmm. He's like, all right, come on. And I'm like, what do you mean, come on? Where are we going? So he walked me around the outside of the venue we're at.
Had like a flask or something.
He had the bottle in a bag.
Oh God!
In a bag back there.
A flask, man.
In the dumpster area.
Yeah.
He was like, here you go, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, Reed, you just bring this out here? He's like, yeah, man.
Oh, you did. You just do it. Yeah.
Fucking Reed. He's fucking awesome. He makes me laugh hardcore, man. I just silly ability. Hey, but like I was gonna say, who are you like? Not who. What am I trying to say? God
damn it.
Say whatever you want. Hey, if I start putting some shows together, will you come do them?
Maybe, yeah.
Because my sponsor Hempies, they're having a 420 party at the store.
That's cool.
And they said
like literally April 20th.
They're gonna do it the weekend before. And I was talking to her about getting some comics to do like maybe 10 minutes each.
Yeah. So it wouldn't actually be on 420 then?
No, it'd be the weekend before it. And
it would be the weekend.
Yeah.
If it's like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I mean, the clubs don't usually like it if it's too close. So it depends. Like if it's in Denton or, you know.
It's right here in Arlington. You probably never been to Hempies, but so it would be on the 420 is a Thursday, so the weekend before that would be like the 15th or 16th.
We can talk about it.
If you're not doing anything,
that too.
like
Yeah.
Open,
if I'm not doing anything,
if
also.
your schedule's open, let me know.
I mean, it is open now at this point, but
but if they book you, you don't want to be like, oh, I can't do that because I'm already doing this thing with Rudy.
Sure.
That's stupid. Don't do that. Don't put my shitty show. But I am gonna try to start doing more shows, like figuring out like how to do more shows, how to throw my own shows.
Yeah, that's a good way to like work your stuff, and you can make money doing that, which is always nice.
Yeah, cause I was talking to Zach Sprung.
Yeah, he does a lot.
And I was like, hey man, how'd you start doing these things, like all these shows out of nowhere? He was like, I just fucking started going around asking people. Yeah. And I was like, God damn it, fucking lucky being white again. You just walk into whatever store you want and just say, hey, I did it.
Probably helps with I mean, but he's like a mohawk too. It's a subtle difference. Like someone, just a stranger coming up to you.
Yeah.
He's got it, and I mean, he's even married too, I think, and has a kid.
He's got like a salesman approach to it.
Mikey B's like that.
Mikey B is like that too.
And they'll get you places. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do kind of, like, I wouldn't put the race thing too high on, like, what's helping.
I'm just joking with that.
And I'm not. I'm not joking. But, no, but if you just put, like, it's a lot of, like, grinding and a lot of emails and stuff.
See, I think that's why I have my girlfriend. Because I'm just going to have her do it.
I feel you.
She's like, hey, girl,
she's willing to.
Hey,
that helps.
Go tell them that you're representing me as a comedian.
Oh, like door to door?
No, not door to door.
Or whatever, restaurant to restaurant.
Yeah, restaurant to restaurant.
Business to whatever.
Not only that, it sounds more formal. She tells them that she's my assistant. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? Sure. Like, somebody walks up and is like, I'm his assistant, and they're like, talking about creating the thing. That sounds so
professional.
Yeah, that sounds really professional.
I mean, con artists will do that with like telephone calls where they'll be like, act like the secretary. And not even con artists, and the regular people that kind of do that shit just to add a little. I'm just saying, like, it's a weird trick.
Shiva, man, we need to hang out more outside of just comedy.
I mean, I try not to do much outside of comedy.
Busy.
I need to do other stuff besides comedy.
You do. You need to come on and do something every once in a while.
What am I? I've really wanted to two things: shoot guns, like at a range. I haven't done that in a long time. Also, do a not jump out of plane, but do like the wind one, the one that's on the ground, like the tunnel, the fly tunnel or whatever.
Okay, the one where you get into like this vacuum seal tube thing.
Yes. I really want to do that.
That one sounds cool, because especially for me, I'm fucking dog shit scared of heights.
I would like to do this skydiving too, but I'm not. I just want to try that first.
I'll do skydiving only because I know if something wrong happens, I'm gonna die, and I have no problem with that.
Because you have a gun and you just blow your head off in the sky?
If my parachute doesn't open and I'm skydiving, I'm gonna die. I don't have to worry about that.
True.
But like,
but I don't know if I want to deal with that. I would like to have a gun with me if I skydive.
Nah, you just close your eyes and just wait for nothing.
Yeah? Yeah, no. The waiting's too much for me.
Well,
that's the problem with drowning for a lot of people. And me.
Too bad you don't have a choice because you're dying.
Yeah. True. Yeah, no, the choice is there is not a choice.
But like, I wouldn't do bungee jumping because bungee jumping, like, if something happens wrong, you're more than likely gonna be alive. You're just gonna be paralyzed from the waist down. And I'm like, fuck that. I'd rather be dead than be paralyzed from the waist or neck down.
I'm wondering why, as humans, we have not figured out a way to be able to jump out of a plane and just land on the ground.
What?
Without a parachute.
You mean like Superman?
Like some kind of it'd have to be like some kind of giant machine that like breaks your fall before you, but like something like that. I'm surprised we haven't created something, some kind of like giant airbag that
I don't think
just goes underneath you.
Well, I think like the reason for like jumping out of planes is like a military thing, And if it's not useful for military, then they're not going to create something like that, really. Now,
it would be good for military. If you could just fall out of the sky.
No, but they have to be very quiet when they land sometimes. Very
sure. I mean,
if they put some like big
they can keep the parachutes. They can keep them.
But
I'm just saying.
Well, then why have both?
Let's see, that would be even better. Okay, so yeah, maybe you can't get out of a plane, but you can parachute down, and then from a certain height, you can just cut the parachute and fall, and just you get what I'm saying? Like some kind of could be just like a giant beanbag chair full of like some kind of weird gel. They got all crazy gels.
You mean
now.
like in
the
Total Recall? Is it Total Recall? No. The Sylvester Stallone movie.
I'm almost thinking of some kind of sci-fi stuff where they'll drop like giant like orbs and then they'll hit the ground and then that'll uncover and then the machine or alien will walk out of that.
There's a movie where the car crashes and right when it crashes it fills up with foam. So it's like.
Are you sure it's not airbags?
No, it's foam.
Okay.
But it's in a movie, so it's like a futuristic movie.
Oh, okay.
That was their version of airbags.
Sure. I mean, they have that stuff with I've seen on YouTube. It's like elephant toothpaste or something. Something they put in elephant toothpaste that makes it foam really big, and then they just did a huge bag of it in this thing took up literally like this entire room within 10 seconds.
What was that on?
YouTube. There's some YouTube stuff.
What were you looking for when you ran into that?
I think it was just trending, They put all sorts of garbage on there that I don't need to actually see, but I'm interested. I'm like, okay. It's like that's a cool
You know
trick
what, Shiva? That tells me a lot about who a person is when I ask them what their YouTube channel looks like. What pops up on your YouTube channel a lot?
About Joe Rogan. UFC like matches like that are shitty angles of the fight because they get taken down. But
are you a big UFC fan? I didn't know you're that.
No,
big
I like watching the champ. The top. I like UFC.
So you're a fan of McGregor or none of them?
No. I used to fight a little boxing. I practiced a little UFC, didn't actually do a UFC match or anything.
Yeah, I did some MMA back in the day for like 2-3 years.
But like when I used to fight, and this was I never really did. I mean, I did like judo as a kid, and maybe like karate. Yeah. But I always was kind of like a grappler in a sense. I never wanted to just punch each other in the face. That was never my like strategy. It was always trying to like. Let's choke this guy out so we can just stop.
I do like choking people out.
It's just better. I think it's just safer too. A lot of people die from, punches to the head, or even worse, just the fall from a punch to the head.
You know how many people I've choked already? Because I had to.
Fair enough. That gives you some reasons.
There's that guy I had to choke out at the hyenas that one time. To try to steal the laptop.
Jesus.
Technically, I'm not supposed to talk about it because you're not supposed to choke somebody out when they try to steal stuff. I don't know. All I remember is Eric was all like, "Hey man, don't tell people about you choking people." You're right. I'm just talking about it. You didn't hear about that though?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Some guy tried to steal a laptop.
There was a couple fights that have happened where
I can't believe I wasn't out. Not that I wanted to be there, but it sucks that I missed out on that fight where Landon got hit. Apparently got hit in the back of the head.
Seriously?
He got knocked out. Like, they knocked him the fuck out. Damn. Because he got jumped by a bunch of people. And, it was, Ibarra. Is it Ricky Ibarra?
No, Dustin?
Dustin Ibarra.
Yeah.
It was the last time Dustin Ibarra was here.
There was a fight? Jeez.
Yeah, and he's coming back again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's from here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that was like, okay, so like, do you remember hearing about him getting kicked out? Not getting kicked out, but like having the episode where he got super drunk on stage. Like he came to do his set and he was just so wasted.
Mm-hmm. Dustin.
Yeah, and then they stopped, and then like they I don't know if they kicked him out. Or, I'm pretty sure they didn't kick him out.
Mm-hmm.
But they stopped, booking him. And then he comes back probably like a year and 3 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one where he has this big ass fight in his audience. And that was like, what, 4 weeks ago?
Just making sure we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
And he's coming back again.
I mean, he's from here. He was friends with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I heard this thing. I heard somebody was saying that Nick made a joke to. It was like a comment, but underhanded joke to Ryan Perio about how Nick. I forget who told me who said it was, but that Nick said that Ryan Perio proof that anybody can learn comedy.
Nice. Jesus. All right, I like Ryan's comedy though. You like
dude. Huh?
Do you like Ryan's stand-up?
Mm-hmm. I think it's very silly.
Yeah, he is silly. And especially now that he's dating that girl, seems to have helped him out a lot. Mallory.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
To me, Perio just seems very quirky.
Yes, he is.
Funny, quirky. And then, I used to feel bad because he didn't talk to me that much.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody else said something they were making a comment to Perio, something about not liking them. They're yeah, I feel bad too, but he doesn't like anybody. And I was like, oh.
Definitely doesn't seem it.
I'm maybe he doesn't like anybody, so I shouldn't feel so bad.
No, he does. But he acts like that, 100%. 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Perio's funny. He's got his little moments where if I talk to him just a little bit, he'll say something.
Open up.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. I try not to bug him though, because
a lot of people do. A lot of people bug him.
I just say hi. For the longest time.
No, it's good.
For the longest time.
Bug him a little. Just don't bug
For the longest time.
Shouldn't even use that word bug. Don't bug him.
For the longest time, I said hi to him, and then then there was a point where I was like, I'm just gonna stop saying hi to people who don't really want to say hi to me. And,
no, I feel you.
And he fell into that category.
Yeah.
He fell into that category of somebody who doesn't seem like they don't want to say hi to me, so I stopped saying hi to him.
Yeah.
For the longest, for probably about 4 months.
Yeah.
I just stopped saying hi to him, and then.
I mean, there's so many people though, right? It's not just him. It's you just sometimes just go in there and say hi to nobody. Yeah. Right? And then just do your set and then leave.
But there's still a few people right now where I just won't say hi to.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna name them because if I do, it'll open up a window of why I don't say hi to them, and then
you don't want to think about that.
And then I'll open up a window to me wanting to punch them. I don't want to think about that.
No, don't do that.
I follow the road into darkness, and but
there's a difference. But there's a difference not wanting to say hi to somebody and not saying hi to somebody.
Here's what it was. It's for me, it was not saying hi to somebody who I am way too ecstatic to say hi to and doesn't respect that.
Okay. Sure. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because some comics just want to, I guess, keep it chill, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But if a person doesn't seem like they're happy to say hi to me, then why should I be so happy to put myself there to say hi to them?
True, but you're a happy guy anyways. You're just happy in general.
I am, for the most part.
Yeah.
But then when I get mad, it's not very happy.
Sure.
But I don't let it happen that much. At all. I don't really let it happen. I'm a very calm person. But but back to Ryan Perry, and then the other day I kind of sat down next to him at the bar, and I was like, "Hey, Perry, what's going on, man?" And he just kind of said something, and then he made a funny joke, and I was like, you know what, Perry's all right.
Yeah.
Perry's all right, Maybe I will say hi to him every so often. But yeah, it's just weird how quickly he fell to that category of like, I don't even want to say hi to that guy. He doesn't want to say hi to me that much. So why even bother?
I mean, he just keeps his face to the, grind and does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
Writes his jokes. And
he's a true grinder, man.
Yeah.
He is a true grinder. And I think...
he works very hard.
I think for me, like, watching him grind and then watching Tony sit there and grind on his notes...
just see?
Yeah, and, watching who else do I see doing that? I don't know. It just cause to me, it makes me want to push forward and be like, hey, look, they're writing notes. Fucking get to writing notes. And now I go to places every so often, and I've been like typing out my bits on the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Just like completely just going over it and whatnot, trying to type up a new story and then see where I can add jokes to that. It's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it.
But it's different.
It's different. It's definitely a little more studious.
I've been trying to break into more writing and just creating jokes from that. But,
Yeah.
I mean, most of, I think, what I come up with is kind of spontaneous for the most part. Or it's me thinking, like, especially like if I'm walking and thinking, that helps a lot. Shower thoughts, of course, and while driving. So, and then usually I would pull over. And
in your comedy,
write
do
down.
you do more crowd working then, or do you do more like feeling out the crowd and going with that?
I do jokes. I mean, I like talking to the crowd.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's crowd work. I do have little parts in my act where it's kind of like fake crowd work. I mean, it's crowd work. I'm talking to the crowd, but I know what I'm probably going to say, or I know the options I can go. So it's kind of limited. But yeah, I mean, as a host, I'm not really supposed to. But the few times I'm not hosting, yeah, I like doing some crowd work and stuff. It's just, whatever way to connect with the crowd, That's all technically I'm doing is connecting with these people for 15 minutes or 25.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything more than about 25, maybe 30 tops, like 28 or something like that. And yeah, it's just, connection.
In 10 minutes, how much crowd work do you do, and how much of it is actually your bits?
I could do none, in a sense. And even in that, like, okay, so I think when I did do that 28 minutes, that was probably like 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Maybe a little under a year. I was probably maybe like 5-10 minutes of crowd work tops. Maybe like 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's usually just kind of, it's not all at once, it's kind of in between jokes, or, if I talk about a topic, ask, what's the crowd's thoughts on this topic? Are they going to groan about it, or are they about it? Like, and not even, simple things like dating even. Just like, are people dating here? And then if nobody says anything, I know, maybe skip some of the,
relationship relation style jokes.
Exactly. Or come from it, at least from an angle of like, you remember your first date, and I talk about imagine having to do that over again, and it's just.
So in other words, you have like a plan A and a plan B.
It personalizes it to them, without me having to even change the joke.
Yeah.
I mean, I do change the joke a little bit, but
So
I'm not verbatim saying the same stuff over. I'm just hitting the same beats over.
So let's just say you did say that, like right now you said that how many people are here are dating.
Yeah.
And if you get no reaction, what's your follow up jokes? Because you're like, I can't do the dating ones no more because nobody's really gonna get it.
I can. I just approach it from a person or I'm assuming they're all married at that point. I mean, it depends, because sometimes they're just not willing to talk to me, where that's a different kind of reaction.
Yeah.
But then if you get people like wanting to engage, or they've been engaging, and then I ask that question and then nothing, then it's like, oh, that was a no, technically, because the only reaction we can really do without everybody talking out loud is round of applause. So, round of applause, who's dating here? And then, they say, nobody claps or something, and then I might try to make a joke about that. Be like, oh, okay, that's surprising that we're all in whatever shitty marriages or something. Be dating.
I haven't gotten to that point yet where I can do what you're saying right now, like comfortably, not comfortably.
Well, it comes from saying the same stuff over and over again.
I think it just comes from with that too.
Because I can think while talking, in a sense. I don't really. They say people can't multitask, but I think if you've done something enough, like I can literally sometimes hear myself talk, saying the same stuff, and then be in my head kind of thinking about that, or being like, why is that lady staring downwards or whatever?
And
like,
then you're still talking while you're still talking.
Yeah. Which that was not the case when I was first saying these words or anything, where I had to focus on it.
Do you remember when you first started feeling that? Like noticing that you can do that? Or was it always from the beginning?
It probably came from, because, when I first do it, it's exciting and stuff, and you're doing it, and if you're lucky, you might say something extra funny on top of it, which is great, or whatever. Yeah. And then you kind of keep doing it, and then there's a point where you start getting bored of saying the same stuff over and over again. But you're choosing to say the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. And then at a certain point, I think, in that boredom, you might get lucky and find something funny that you add, and then you get re-excited about the joke again, and then kind of just wavers. And I think that inkling at first, that boredom, I think is when that maybe first happened.
So in other words, I need to do my bits until I'm bored of saying them, and then
out of your mind. Which then, to be honest, it's almost like that, like you almost ruin your own joke sometimes to a certain point. But like there's an old kind of comedy saying where it's like the first time it's the funny, second time it is still funny, third time maybe the funniest.
So
wait, fourth time not so funny, fifth time not so funny, sixth time definitely not funny, seventh time not funny, eighth time not funny, ninth time not funny, 10th time not funny, 11th time not funny, 12th time funny, and then it just goes over and over. But it has like that thing where I think you can even approach that to telling your joke at a certain point. Because when the first time you tell that joke and it's funny, that's a really kind of special moment or whatever, in a sense, where you're like, holy shit, this is great. And the first time you say that, it's like a full joke or not. I don't know if a lot of jokes can technically be like done in a sense. You can always add more, I think.
Yeah, I believe that too. You can either add more or change certain things.
And sometimes it might make it worse, but I'm just saying you can always whatever.
You gotta try them out.
But that first time you do that joke, you're like, okay, and then it's weird to then see that joke go to shit, and you're like, dude, I hate this thing. And then it's like,
But I do that a lot too, though. Like where I do a bit and then I'll change it up, and then when I change it up the bit, it does worse than it did the first time. It's like, okay, I can't change up that part. That part should be better left alone. But here's what I've been, in my mind, what I've been doing to help myself better.
Mm-hmm.
And you can give me a little advice if you feel like it's a wrong way of doing it or whatever. But like, what I'm trying to do, like all the mics, I'm trying to always start off with like a regular bit that I already know and I've been doing and I know gets laughs. Mm-hmm. And then after that bit, I'll do something different or new that I'm trying to work on, and that way, I already have them laughing. So if I bomb,
or it's your litmus test.
Yeah, it's
in
my
a sense,
test,
right?
Yeah. It's like I do my first bits to get their attention, be like, oh, he's kind of funny, and then I go into this next bit where I'm still working on it.
Sure.
And they pay attention until they like, oh, well, that didn't end too well. But I'm okay with that because at least I got your attention to begin with. And when I did my next bit, if it worked well, you were paying attention already because of the first bit.
Yeah, and you actually can get like a read off of
Yeah, what kind of crowd I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
But because I already know the bit I'm doing first, it's
easy to get into the second one. In a sense?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried doing it up top? Just wondering. Just talking. I don't know if you should or not.
Like I've tried.
I kind of agree with what you're doing.
I've tried doing new sets or new bits right out the gate.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't work.
It sucked. Yeah, it didn't work. And then I was like, new bit, and then okay, let me go into my...
The one advantage, though, is you then don't have to... I mean, not necessarily that you're remembering that first bit, but then you can just remember everything about that new bit. Like, there are some advantages of doing it up top, but having them not, be a part of it. I mean, I think ideally, if you're trying to do a brand new bit and you can get away with it, if you can do it up top, I think that is the best. But I think the way you, I guess, get around that would be if you can make a joke about whatever the MC said, a real quick joke, that technically counts. It's like a cheat. That counts as your first bit, kind of first laugh, and then go immediately into,
Yeah.
So if they laugh hard enough at that first joke, you got them. That's the litmus test. They think you're funny. They're assuming this next thing is gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So you have them on your side.
What if you have a boring MC?
That can be the joke. That can be the joke. Exactly what that is. It can be the joke, man. I mean, sometimes it can be like just a roast of the MC. Say something kind of mean.
I've done that before.
Or whatever.
I haven't done the
But then if your joke is kind of like you're trying to get them to be on your side, then that doesn't, I don't think, work as well.
But I've done stuff like that. But I've done stuff like that, like where it's like I have what I want to say, and then because of what happened before me, 100%. I just cannot.
Yeah.
I just cannot not address it.
Or like the MC fuck something.
I have to address it, and that does get laughs, and that does feel good. I love when that happens.
Yeah.
There was one time this guy, it was at the Arlington Improv. He did like the weirdest bit ever, and I don't know.
Do they do a mic still over there? They still don't do a mic over there
forever, man. I don't know when they're gonna open it up again. I want to do comedy for the Improv, and I feel like the only way I can do comedy for the Improv is if I take that one guy's fucking class.
Dean's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way. I don't know. Anybody.
Dean's is a good class. I do like that. But I don't know. It is expensive.
I don't know any way to get into Arlington Improv other than that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm okay with paying. I'm not cool with paying, but paying's in there.
Sure.
I'm not cool enough to where I can ask them.
Well, no. Well, I think you're confusing something though. That doesn't guarantee anything.
No, it doesn't.
So you're not technically paying for the. But you're saying just to get the opportunity to be looked at.
Like I want to know where they went to get looked at.
I mean, nobody really does. I mean, I hardly work for Addison. I mean,
okay, but how did you first get into Addison? Did somebody walk up to you and say, "Hey, I want you to do the Addison Improv," or did you?
No.
Or did you talk?
No, I didn't email anybody either.
So how did you first get into Addison?
I mean, I talked to Sean, the GM, of course, but I don't remember really asking him. I don't really remember him asking me. I think I had just done some shows, I had done those the Wednesday night shows or whatever they do.
See, but that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you didn't ask him directly, you somehow were doing something to where they noticed you to put you on.
I think, no, because I think I got on that show because of the comic that was on that, because they're like showcases. So the comic that was headlining that show, I think, got me the spot.
See, well, I don't know who that comic right there. That comic right there. I
understand that.
That comic was your link.
But it was several comics that did that. Like, it's the one where it's blah, blah, blah and friends.
Yeah.
They do several of those.
Yeah, they do. But
so I'm saying the comics change every single time.
What you're telling me is that I don't have any friends because
I think that's what you're telling yourself.
Because they don't invite me to come on their thing with their friends.
Kind of, a little bit.
I'm not one of their friends. It's okay. I don't have to be everybody's friend. You know what? I want to do it.
No, but you need to get on that and then do well, and then because I believe I've done well. I know. I mean, now I talked to Sean a little bit, and I will get.
Okay. Well,
but I mean, Hyenas is technically my club. I mean, that is definitely like
club.
No, but I'm saying like I have a loyalty to them just because of they've done a lot.
They treated you really good, right?
Yeah. I mean, it hasn't been always good. It's a relationship. It's a relationship.
Just say they treat me great, guys. And smile.
I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm like on, like I have a blood oath. I have a blood oath to Hyenas. No, I'm just like,
You're not married to hyenas.
I like hyenas.
Okay, let's say hyenas was a relationship type. What relationship is she?
I would stay in the relationship.
No, but what kind of girl is she?
Take her home to mom.
Is she like the ditzy one where like you kind of have fun with her, and then but eventually you're gonna get tired of how dumb she is?
No. Probably take her home to mom. Take her home to mom a little bit.
Ooh, that's very committed. That's like the next step up is moving in together.
I mean, come on, I can have an affair once in a while. Like, just not
Ashley Madison, man. Not just joking.
Just saying.
Dude, I gotta pee, man.
If we're not having sex, then
talk to the camera for a little bit while I pee.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
Sorry.
Hurry up. Hello, friends. How are we all? I can't even technically. Is there anybody even on here? Like, Seems like I don't even know what's going on there. You know what? No, I'm not doing shit. I'm not doing shit. Need a Jamie on this podcast. That's what they need. Maybe.
Okay, back.
I didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't hear anything.
I tried. I thought about it.
So, I feel like you're very close friends, so
I don't.
I'm open up a little
Are
bit.
we that close?
I thought we were cool.
We're cool.
Oh,
But
man.
I don't talk to you every day.
Well, no, man. What the fuck are we, girls?
Okay.
I talk to you when I see you.
Fair enough.
Right?
Okay,
if I needed you,
And we are cool. No, we're
if I
cool.
needed you, I'd text you. But I
Yes.
don't need you.
Yes.
I can't wait till I see you in person. What the fuck? It's kind of cool.
I agree with that. Anyways.
So I'm gonna say something. It's a little.
Jesus.
It's a little deep in my mind, but it's kind of like an emotion. It's a way of thought that I've been having lately, but I've been overcoming it because I don't know. That's just how I do it. Anyway, so like what I'm saying is like I've been having this emotion lately, or this way of thinking where I see other people who are started around me, or a little after me, are getting booked for all these shows and doing all this stuff.
Oh.
And it makes and I feel like left out.
Are you getting passed up?
No, not even that I'm getting passed up. But like I feel left out. Like I would love to be on that list because I'd get to hang out with people. And when I'm not on there, it's not because
wait. What are we talking about specifically? Are we talking about the open mic?
No. I'm talking about like just shows in general.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. But then you're talking about the list.
No, I'm just talking about shows in general.
Got it. But you're talking about just the set list or the show list, or
yeah. And then but then I argue that statement because my argument to that statement is that I don't have to. No, I don't have to. That for one, all my showcases when I do them in front of a real crowd, I do good.
Okay.
And I'm very proud of that.
That's good.
I'm proud that I do good in front of a real crowd.
Yeah.
And I'm proud that out of all the, 8 or 9 now showcases I've done with Butch, only one of them went bad. I'm happy about that. And I see my colleagues doing, all these cool ass shows, and it hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
It does. It hurts me a little bit. But then I remind myself why I'm doing comedy to begin with.
Sure.
And it's like I'm doing it to have fun. I'm not doing it to become famous. I never did it. I never said I was gonna do it so that I can do all these crazy bookings.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still having fun doing it.
But there are shows that you wish you were on.
And yeah, but like
Well, you're not going to get on every
There's always
show.
going to be shows that I wish I could be on.
Sure, exactly.
But what I'm saying is, like, I shouldn't give that power over why I did comedy to begin with. Like, that shouldn't precede me having fun in comedy.
You want to, be on those shows. I mean, some people, it took a long time for them to, I guess, get over my first impression in comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I was not really well liked for the most part. I don't think I'm really liked now, but I think I'm dealt, or at least, like, I'm very polite, so I think people just let me live if I'm...
Why do you feel like you're not very liked right now?
I mean, I don't think I'm disliked now, like I was before.
Well, if you're not liked, you're disliked.
No.
Okay.
Just kind of a neneutral, or just like, oh yeah, there's Shiva.
You think people are like
so
indifferent towards you?
do not think about me at all.
You think people are indifferent towards you? Is that what you're saying? Indifferent?
No, I think people are just people in front of me compared to maybe when I first started. I was like a little bit of a pariah, whereas like people did not want me around, kind of deal.
So okay, can you name some comics that you don't get that feeling from?
What?
That feeling of you're just there.
A pariah?
Yeah.
I'm not a pariah.
No, I'm not saying that you are, but I'm saying like,
yeah.
Do you get that feeling of like,
I wasn't fully a pariah even then. It was just some animosity and people being jerks, and me too a little bit.
But
what are you saying now?
Well,
I mean, I don't feel that way now. I just feel like I'm a person that does comedy, and like I don't need to say hi to everybody now. I just go to the mics and try to work on some jokes and then leave. And if I have a good time, sometimes with comics, I'll stick around and drink. But it's not the same thing. Like the biggest thing is like those open mics are their own little worlds. Like that's not even. It was a very fun time when I was just involved in that, but it's like comedy's a one-man game for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, you do have a lot of relationships, so it's weird me saying that, but at the end, it's like you are kind of by yourself. It's you and your relationships amongst everybody else's to get that, because none of the bookers know each other for the most part, besides a professional like hello and stuff, and the headliners always show up once every like 9 months to a year, so you got a new guy every week. It's fun. It's like because for those people that sounds like if a new guy every week, that's so many people's faces, but yet because you don't have that much one-on-one time, it's like being surrounded by people yet being alone at a certain point. So all that, your friends doing stuff like that still kind of exists on, Instagram and stuff, because you see comics, doing shows, even though it's like in a totally different city or, state even, where you're like, okay, I can't even do anything about that, but it'll still sometimes get to me. But at the end of the day, it's not like that's their path just happened to, his path just happened. Like, you can't get mad at somebody that's on 100% different path than you. Because it is 100% different path. Like, figuratively and I would say literally, because you're traveling a bit. At a certain point, you have to leave the city and then just hit up the rest of the U.S. I mean, some people try to just make it here, and I think that maybe is a little doable with YouTube, and that goes back to like that changes why you might not have to go to L.A. or New York, but that open mic stuff's kind of. I just wouldn't let it affect you too much. Just keep focusing on why you originally did it, and then also kind of like I hate calling it an art, but it is kind of an art at the same time. But I mean, it's pretentious, and it's yes. And there are some comics that think they are artists, and I guess that's cool or whatever. But
I mean, it's like fucking.
Somebody a lot of those comics don't do fart jokes.
But it's like somebody who's vegan. Fucking constantly complaining or telling you about how they're vegan. You don't want to fucking hear it all the time.
Sure. Yeah. I don't want to hear it from vegans. But I mean, but then also I would say talk to the booker and stuff. I mean, this is about persistence, I mean, but there's difference between persistence and being annoying. Like, I wouldn't hit up someone every week, but hit them up like once every month, and then I keep getting no's, then once every 3 months, and then sometimes once every 6 months. And it's just like, it's persistence. But it's very tough because it's like these little weird stops, because it's like, if it's like once a month or once every 6 months, after you send that email, that's all you can do.
Bang?
Yeah, or some kind of scream.
Does that sound like a gunshot?
I don't think so. A gunshot.
Pretty loud bang.
It's more of a thud, I felt like.
I think the dogs outside start barking. Anyway, well, I hear gunshots all the time. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. If I get shot in this chair, that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah. Ah, man, that's some interesting talks, man. Interesting talks. 2:36, man. How long have we been doing it? About an hour, 15 minutes, 20 minutes?
Yeah, why don't we start?
He's still cool?
I don't care. Yeah,
What
I mean, we
else
can.
can what else do you want to discuss about, though?
You know, I mean, I don't know.
I know you've been in the game for a long time, dude. You got a
No,
lot of knowledge.
I've really not been. I know. No, I haven't. I don't think I have. I think you probably have. If you watch podcasts and stuff and listen to other comics, probably have just as much knowledge as me. I mean, I got a little personal experience, but that's only like a couple of years. Yeah. Well, I mean, I always tell people you should work for the club, which you do, right?
I have before.
Yeah, exactly.
I did like a security for them, you know?
Yes.
I was the floor guy for them. For whenever Eric needed me. And I still tell Eric now. Yes. Eric, man, you ever need me, just fucking text me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, maybe remind him, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll remind him again, because, frankly, he probably could have used another person for that night there at,
Bobcat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't get rowdy. It didn't get that rowdy, but I get what you're saying.
No.
Yeah, just in case things did happen. Yeah.
I always feel like there should be two door guys, two guys on the floor,
like watching the stage.
Yeah. And then Eric is like the extra guy who kind of just walks in and out just to make sure nothing. But I feel more comfortable if there's two floor guys, because you got one on one side that sees all this whole angle.
True.
You got one on this side who sees this whole angle.
I think they just don't have enough fights that you know what I mean, like. But you're right. There have been a couple fights. I didn't realize that even. I don't know what I would do if a fight broke out during my show for the most part. Weirdest thing that happened in one of my shows was, well, not my shows, but one of the shows I was doing was a guy from rehab. Frickin', like, when I said I have this joke where I talk about having a drug problem, and the second I said that, he was like, I do too, Shiva, and I was like, what? And then he's like, Colt, and then he said his name or whatever, and then I was like, huh? And then he said his name, and I was like, and then he stood up, and I could see him, and I was like, holy shit, this is some guy. And then I had to, like, it threw me off the whole thing. Yeah. That's such a, because I used to hang out with this guy for, like, whatever, like, 2 months, maybe a month, just, like, every day, because, you know, it's just.
So you actually knew that person?
Yeah, I went to rehab with him, inpatient rehab with him for, I want to say it was crazy. A month.
I thought you made a joke about rehab, and some guy came up and said I'm from rehab.
Well, that's what I assumed too.
But it's a guy you actually know.
And then it ends up becoming a guy that, level. Like, yeah. And then I'm like, this guy obviously is an idiot, because he should be coming before and talking to me, or telling me he's at the show, like I was out and about, you know, like he could have, whatever. Like, or talk to me after the show.
He should have shocked you.
Yeah.
I was just such
and then I have to tell the crowd because I'm just in the moment. Yeah. Otherwise, this just looks, or I don't know. Maybe I should have told the crowd.
What'd you do? Because I feel like I would have just been. I don't know. All in hindsight.
Yes, that's where it is now. Where I'm just
funny
like
jokes you make out of that. I just wonder. Yeah. What did you say though?
I mean, eventually, I believe I said, I guess he's still on drugs.
You're guessing? You guess he's still on drugs?
Yeah.
Why? Because he's
shouting in the middle. Because he's shouting in the middle of my act. Where I'm like,
how do you?
No, it was great seeing him and stuff.
But like,
that's the weird stuff.
That guy, How special do you think he made his night though? Like
Probably not. No, I felt like I got mad at him a little bit, or I didn't get mad at him. I just told him like, "Gosh, shut up, dude! Like you can't." And especially not during the other people's acts. Like now, he thinks he's part of the show.
Oh, so do you think later?
So then I think he got. I mean, he got a little drunk too. Whereas,
Yeah.
And then I gotta be careful because then they're like, if he ends up making an ass out of himself, I'm like, I didn't invite that guy, even though he knows me. But then do people think that I did? Because that does happen. Where they, bring, comics will bring people, and they represent you. Or if they're shitty.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's its own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was fine with him. But I think he ended up just leaving, and it was a little sad. I felt bad about it. But dude, don't fucking ambush me like that. Like that was fucking.
Don't surprise you.
Yeah. Cannot. Some lady comes and be like, "I have your baby," and be like, "I don't know."
You don't know what to
damn
do with
it.
that.
Yeah. This is your
I
child.
never even been to Ethiopia.
Yes, exactly. I don't remember all the parts of my
Fucking
life.
Shiva, man.
There's a whole history that I kind of forget about.
What?
Just being in comedy
Yeah.
now, it's taking up a lot of my time. Where it is a different lifestyle.
Of course.
And it's been nice because I feel it's interesting seeing some people that kind of have a good life already trying to get into comedy, because that's got to be hard because you're giving up that for comedy, which I think for me though it was an easy pick because I wasn't doing anything. I might as well have been
What do you consider
homeless.
good? What do you consider a good life though?
I mean, a solid 9-to-5 job that makes like $75,000 a year before tax. I'm sorry, after taxes.
And you don't feel like a person who's doing that should stop and do comedy, like proceed.
I mean, you can.
See feature in comedy.
You can, but you're gonna be stuck here. In a sense. I mean, this is the one job that I think being unemployed is a very positive thing. Or you just being able to.
Yeah, I eventually want to quit. Trying to get my woman to get a job already so I can quit. Actually,
and
no.
she takes care of you.
I'm just,
that's
just joking. No, I do have a plan though that I can't talk about on mic.
I mean, you can do. Just make sure you get weekends at least first. At least get some money. Get paid.
I had a job where I only worked on the weekend and I loved it.
But you don't think $75,000 and a stable, I would also say hopefully have like a family or a wife or some kind of family.
Not
it doesn't have to be
okay, like me,
standard one.
like me, for instance, I couldn't do that.
$75,000.
Because even if I have that much money
after taxes, $75,000.
Even if I have that much money,
yeah,
and I have that lifestyle, that come home and be a father. And be with time with my wife because I have all these possessions.
Yeah.
That scares the shit out of me.
But you don't have to have the possessions. You can go do your
I can't do it.
life. Like, you could still do comedy technically in this life. But you're just not able to go to San Francisco to do a club because of whatever reason. Or maybe you can. I don't know your $75,000 job. I don't know what it is. But
no, okay, but like to have one over the other, yeah, I know, I couldn't do that.
I'm saying,
like right
saying
now,
comedy does not really pay that well.
No, it doesn't
is
pay
a
that
little
well.
bit of a notch up, and it was a better life now than what I was having before. So it was just an easy thing to move to this, where I'm like, okay, cool. Like, this is not unbearable or hard to deal with.
I think one day I'll quit and just be completely doing comedy. I think it's gonna come pretty soon. Pretty soon. I actually had an idea.
Do it today.
I actually had an idea.
Do it on this show.
You know what my idea was?
Call your boss right now.
No, I wanted to get all my shit.
Tell your boss on your camera.
I wanted to get all my shit, whatever I can take that I need to live in my car, and move to Cali and just live in my car.
That's a great idea. I mean, I would love to do that.
I hear other comics doing
You gotta get a
good.
I mean, there's a lot that I think there's a little pre-work where you gotta get a really good van, and you gotta kind of pimp it out a little, where it's like.
I mean, I have a gym membership.
Yeah, so you got your shower
So I
down.
got my shower down.
Yep.
I've heard other comics do it. Said they lived. Fucking Art Shafir said he did it for the first 3 years, or for 3 years he was living on the street. Other comics have lived on the street.
3 years is a bit much.
Yeah, it is. But
I would say a year and a half is I would get really.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. I'd be like a year and a half to 2 years.
And I'm a little
if
older.
I'm still in the car by then.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to move back.
No, you definitely need to move back.
I don't know. No, I want. That's my. I wish I could do that. I might still do that sooner or later. Hey man, you want to call it quits right there?
Yeah. Let me say whatever my dates or whatever.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I got Wichita, Kansas Looney Bin. That is this week, which is. But I'm really just gonna focus on the one that I have after, which is Helen Hong. And this week 23rd to the 25th, Wichita, Looney Bin, Kansas, and then I'm at Dallas Hyenas, January 30th through February 1st for Helen Hong. So
who is that?
Be there, be square.
Is she funny?
Yeah. I mean, the stand-up that I saw on YouTube, I liked.
Okay.
And then I saw her on Silicon Valley. Okay, yeah, bye.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Not yet. Thank you for tuning in. And this episode is brought to you by Hempies again. And I think that's all I'm gonna say. I used to play music, but you know what? I heard Spotify doesn't want you to play music no more.
Really?
Yeah.